Starting on your back, place one hand onto your heart, one hand onto your belly. Bring the soles of your feet together. Allow your knees to fall out to the side for Baddha Konasana, Supta Baddha Konasana. Take a really deep inhale. Open the mouth and sigh it out. Let's do that a couple more times. Breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth. Starting your practice with just taking some deep breaths to allow you to settle in your mind, to let go of thoughts, and allow yourself to be in your yoga practice. Focusing on your deep inhales. Taking both hands to the outside of your thighs, use your hands to bring your legs together like you're closing a book. Hug your knees in towards your chest and begin to make circles with your knees. Taking your circles in one direction and then take your circles in the other direction. Going for a mini twist, taking your arms out to the side like a letter T. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, take your legs over towards the right. You can look to the left. Inhale, bring the legs back to center. Take your knees to the left and look to the right. Inhale, knees back to center. Hug your knees into your chest one more time. Place your left foot onto the mat, knee bent. Right hand onto your hamstrings under your knee, under the fold of your knee. Take your left hand behind your head, shoulder blades away from your ears. With your next inhale, lift your torso up. As you exhale, bring your elbow and knee to touch. Draw your belly button in towards your low back. Inhale, open. Exhale, elbow and knee touch. Inhale. Exhale. 3 more. Last one. Exhale, really draw your belly button in towards your spine. Release foot to the floor, head to the floor. Draw your left knee in towards your chest. Take your hand under your left knee, right hand behind your head. Inhale, lift your chest off the floor, upper back off the floor. Exhale, let the knee and elbow touch. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale, open. Exhale, knee and elbow touch. Inhale. Exhale. Go for 3 more. Release that leg to the floor, or foot to the floor, hands to the floor. Interlace your fingers, take your hands behind your head. Now you can always go for the move we just did, or you bring both feet off the floor, knees bent. And with your inhale, lift your shoulder blades off the floor. Exhale, turn towards your right knee and take your left leg straight. Inhale back to center. Exhale, twist towards the left knee, right leg straight. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale. Exhale, twist to the left. 2 more on each side. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Draw your belly button in towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Last one on each side. Exhale, twist. Inhale. Exhale, twist. Bring both knees in towards your chest. Grab onto your shins as you bring your shoulder blades back to the floor and hug your knees in towards your chest. And you can always rock side to side. Take your legs straight. Take your arms overhead and lift your head off the floor. Inhale. Exhale, hug knees in. Extend. Hug in. Extend. Hug in. 3 more. Last one. Release your shoulders to the floor. Take a few deep breaths. Take your legs straight up in the air. Bring your elbows in towards your waist. Easiest way to get up, you're going to allow your legs to go to the front of the mat and it's going to lift your torso. So take your legs slightly over your chest and then let the legs go towards the front of the mat as you come up to a seat. Take your hands next to your hips. You can create tents with your fingers. Lift your hips and then draw your hips back, bringing your head closer towards your knees. Bring your hips to the floor. Come back onto your back, legs up. Now take the legs forward, head up, arms along your ears. Inhale, legs up, elbows to your waist. Come to your seated position, lift up onto your fingertips and head to your knees. Hips to the floor, legs up. Take the legs forward, arms along ears, head up. Lift your legs up, elbows to your waist. Swing forward, come up onto your fingertips, forehead to your knees. 2 more. Sit back, legs up. Swing legs forward, arms along ears, head up. Legs up, elbows to waist. Swing up and lift up. Last one. Legs up, elbows to waist. Swing forward and lift hips. Come to a seat. Take a few deep breaths. Making your way onto your knees, you can swing the legs around, sit back onto your heels as you lift chest. Getting long in your spine, drawing your shoulder blades down towards your low back. And just move your head forward and back, just starting to make sure we have a nice loose neck. Take your neck into a circle, one direction. And take the circle in the other direction. Back to center, look side to side. Making your way back to center, bring your fingertips onto your shoulders. Bring your elbows to touch, round into your spine, and then take your shoulders, elbows back, and lift chest up. When the arms go forward, you round. When the arms go back, you lift. Taking really deep inhales. Take the circles in the other direction. Starting to just get into our shoulder joint. Relax the arms, tilt the head side to side, shake it out. Right hand, take between your shoulder blade, left hand grab onto the right elbow. Longen your spine so we lengthen to take our rib cage away from our waist. And then lean over towards your left side. Feel that stretch in the right side of your body. Inhale back to center and switch sides. Left hand between your shoulder blade. Right hand grabs onto the left elbow. Inhale, lengthen. Keep the length in your spine as you lean over towards the right. Inhale back to center. Release your arms down. Interlace your fingers. Take your hands behind your back. Lift chest. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. And just twist your torso side to side. Inhale, lift halfway. Take your hands forward, open your knees as you come into child's pose. In this child's pose, move your hips side to side. Walk your hands over to the right side of your mat, stacking your left hand on top of right. Drawing your hips back towards your heels to create space on the left side of your body. Walk your hands over to the left side, right hand on top of left. Draw your right hip back towards your heels so you feel stretch in the right side of your body. Walk your hands back to center, back to child's pose. Bend your elbows, bring your palms to touch, and take your thumbs between your shoulder blades for this mudra, a heart opening mudra. Take deep breaths into your heart. Release your hands back to the floor, to child's pose with extended arms. With your next inhale, come into all fours. Curl your toes under. Inhale, shift hips forward, shoulders past wrists. Exhale, shift hips back. Bring your hips back towards your heels. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, shift back. Keeping your shoulders away from your ears through the whole movement. Shift forward. Shift back. Making sure that you're breathing as we open up the wrists and the shoulders. Come back to all fours and begin to make circles with your hips onto the mat. Just get into our wrists. I like my circles to be really big so I can really get this range of motion in wrists. Turn your fingers out to the side, shift side to side. Noticing any restrictions in your wrists. Turn your fingers back towards your heels or towards your knees and shift forward and back. Stay back. Maybe even walk your hands a little bit closer in. This is stretch out forearms. Keep your toes curled under. Interlace your fingers and make circles with your wrists. Maybe you notice that they are really loose right now. Then take the circles in the other direction. Good. Shake out the hands. Hands forward. Lift your hips. Down dog. Bending your right knee and your left knee. And allow yourself to feel a twisting in your low back. With your next inhale, lift your right leg up towards the ceiling. Bend the knee, take the foot to the opposite hip. Begin to make big circles at your hip joint. It's like you bring your knee in towards your chest, then out to the right, then up to the ceiling. Be very mindful with this rotation into your hips. Take the circles in the other direction. Come back to your three-leg dog. Take the leg up. With your exhale, step the leg forward. Now, if you can't reach all the way forward with your foot, grab onto the foot and take it forward. Place your left knee onto the mat. Keep your back toes curled under. Inhale, let your hips dip low as you lift chest. Exhale, push hips back, straighten your front leg. Even though you still can keep a slight bend, especially if you have a tight hamstring. Press your heel down into the mat. With your inhale, bend the front knee. Let your hips dip low, lift chest. Exhale, push hips back. Do that a couple more times, cycling between going forward and going back. Next time you're in half Hanuman, stay here for a few breaths. Moving your hips, just kind of notice if you feel any restriction and take deep inhales. Bend your right knee, let your hips dip low. If you need a block, you can always place your block onto the right side of your mat, or you can come up onto your fingertips. As you lean your torso towards the right, take your left arm along your ear. With your left shoulder, rotate the shoulder down towards the mat. And then open the shoulder to open your chest up towards the ceiling. Rotate the shoulder down. And then open. One more, rotate the shoulder down towards the floor. And then open. Switch sides, take the left hand onto the floor, right arm along your ear. See if you can allow your hips to dip low. Inhale, lift chest up. Exhale, rotate your chest towards the mat. Inhale, up. Exhale, rotate chest towards the mat. One more. And rotate down. Come back to center. Take hands behind back, interlace fingers. Take your hips forward as you lift your chest. Going for a little twist in your spine. Release your hands to the floor. Lift your back heel and back knee. Rotate your back heel and rise into warrior two. Then align into your front knee, shoulders over hips, and look at your front middle finger. With your inhale, straighten your right leg. Lift the right toes off the mat, press down into your heel, and lift arms up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale up. Now with your right toes, turn them down, left toes up as you come into warrior two with the left side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, warrior two to the left, knee bending. Inhale, rise. Exhale, turn toes in, right toe out, warrior two to the right leg. Stay here. Flip your front hand, reach forward, and reverse your warrior. Inhale. Exhale, bring your forearm onto your thigh. Take your top arm along your ear for an extended side angle. Rotating your chest up, take deep breaths. Reverse your warrior. Now begin to straighten your right leg, leaning towards your left leg. With your next inhale, rise. Exhale, Trikonasana. You can bring your hands to the outside of your right foot. And if you need to shorten your stance, shorten your stance. And you can also place a hand onto a block. Rotate your chest up towards the ceiling. Take deep breaths. See if you can lift your left hip so it's not rotating towards the floor. Shoulders away from the ears. Relax your jaw. Inhale. Exhale, release both hands to the floor. Shorten your stance so your legs are maybe at about 3 feet apart. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold, coming into pyramid. You can always place your hands onto blocks, especially if you can't reach the floor. Blocks are very handy. Inhale halfway. Place your right hand onto your hip. And notice if your hip is twisting, and try to keep your hips square. With your left hand, either bring it to the inside or the outside of the foot, keeping your right hip square. And then lift your right arm for revolved triangle. Shoulders away from the ears, lengthen into your low back. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. If you like, you can start to lift the right toes up, pressing the right heel down into the mat. Take your right foot to the floor, shift your weight into your right heel, and come up onto your left toes. Bring the left heel down to the mat, lift the right toes. Right foot to the floor, lift the left toes, or let the left toes touch the mat. Bring the left heel down to the mat, right heel, right toes up, right heel press onto the floor, and maybe you can start to bend your left knee. Get in a real deep stretch for calves and hamstrings. Come back to pyramid. Perhaps you bring your leg a little bit closer in. And see if you can grab onto your back calf with one hand, maybe both, So I'm going around my right leg as I grab onto my calves. Take deep breaths. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step your left leg back, come into a low lunge. With your front foot, turn the toes out, back foot, rotate onto the little toe side of your foot. You might have to walk your left hand forward as you start to bring your left hip towards the floor and reach towards your back leg. Keeping length into your spine, take deep breaths. Bring your hands to the floor to the inside of your right foot. Straighten your right leg. Walk your hands to the center of your mat, turning your feet parallel. And then start to bend your left knee and right toes up. Lift your hips, feet parallel, legs straight. Turn your right toes out, come back to your low lunge, and keep turning your right foot, left heel, left little toe to the mat, left hip to the mat as you reach towards your right leg. Hands back to the inside of your foot, straighten your right leg, feet parallel, bend your left knee, right toes up. Hands to the mat, both legs straight, come into a wide leg forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Heel ball feet in, once again, where you may be about 3 feet apart or so. Walk your hands over towards your right foot, coming into pyramid. And then keep walking your hands over your right foot, and keep walking until you're crossed at your thighs with your legs. Slowly bring your knees to the mat. Sit back onto your hips, coming into Gomukhana, cow face. For this cow face, we'll just keep a length into our spine, and we'll walk our hands forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, deepen your fold. Slowly walk your hands back. We have our right leg on front. Let's take our right arm under eagle arms. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. Any place you feel tightness, see if you can relax those areas with your breath. With your next inhale, come up. Release your arms. Take your hands behind you to lift your hips off the floor, then walk your hands forward. You're going to straighten your legs so your thighs are still crossed. And then walk your hands over towards your right foot, coming back to pyramid. And step back to your down dog. Inhale, left leg up. Bend the knee, take the foot to the opposite hip. And begin to make circles at your hip joint. Take the circles in the other direction. Coming back to your 3-leg dog, right leg up. Step your leg forward. If you need to, you grab onto the foot to bring the leg forward. Place your left knee onto the mat. Allow your hips to dip low as you lift chest. Inhale. Exhale, push hips back, Hanuman. Pressing your heel down into the mat. Inhale, bend your left knee. Hips go low, chest up. Exhale, push hips back. Inhale, bend. Exhale, push hips back and stay here. Moving your hips, noticing any restriction, any tightness. Bend your left knee. Walk your left fingertips to the left side of your body. You can always place your hands onto blocks. As you take your right arm along your ear, inhale, take the chest forward. Right hand onto the floor, left arm along your ear. Inhale, take your chest forward. Take your hands behind back. Interlace fingers. Inhale, lift chest. Hips low, chest up. Release your hands to the floor. Lift your back knee off the mat. Turn your back heel down. With your next inhale, rise into Warrior Two. Drishis to look at your front middle finger. Inhale, straighten your left leg. Toes off the floor, press the heel down, arms up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, up. Turn your feet. Exhale, Warrior Two to your right leg. Inhale, up. Exhale, Warrior Two. Inhale, up. Turn toes in. Exhale, Warrior Two to your left leg. Flip your front hand. Inhale, reverse your warrior. Extended side angle, forearm onto your thigh. Right arm along your ear, palm face the floor. Press your forearm onto your thigh so you can rotate your chest up towards the ceiling while still drawing shoulder blades away from the ears. Reverse your warrior. Straighten your left leg so you feel this stretch in the left side of your body. With your next inhale, coming back up. Then exhale, start to reach forward, coming into Trikonasana. You can bring your hands to the outside of your left foot, or you can place your hand onto your shin or onto a block. But rotate your chest up as you draw shoulders down and take deep breaths. Inhale. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Step your back leg in, so about 3 feet or so distance from your feet. I like to stand like on railroad tracks. Move your hips side to side. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, pyramid, draping your body over your front thigh. Place your left hand onto your hips to see if your hips are square. To see if maybe your hips are uneven. Perhaps your left hip is in front of right. Square your hips. Inhale, lift halfway. With your right hand either to the inside or the outside of the foot as you revolve into your Revolved Triangle. And you can take your left arm up towards the sky. Be really steady in your foundation as you press your feet down into your mat. Release both hands to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Lift the toes on the left up as you press the heel down into the mat. Bring your left foot to the floor as you shift all your weight into your left foot, coming up onto your right toes. Shift back, so right foot to the floor as you lift the left toes and they press the heel down into the mat. Shift forward and lift up onto your left toes. Shift back, left foot is up, heel is pressed. And see if you can start to bend your right knee. Both legs straight, coming back to pyramid. With one hand, perhaps you can reach. With your right hand, can you grab onto your right shin? And perhaps with the left hand, you grab onto the right shin. Taking deep, deep inhales. Release your hands to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, step your right leg back into a low lunge. Bring your hands to the inside of your left foot. Turn the toes out on the left and the right foot go onto the little toe side of your foot. Walk your right hand forward as you start to bring your right hip closer to the floor. And with the left hand, you reach towards your left leg. Inhale, bring the hands back to center to the inside of your foot. Straighten your left leg. Turn your toes in so your feet are parallel. Start to bend your right knee. You can lift the left foot or press the left heel down into the mat. Inhale, lift hips. Walking your hands over towards your left foot. And then rotate the right toe to the mat as you reach towards that back leg. Bring your hands back to the mat. Walk your hands over towards your right leg. Bend your right knee. The left toes up towards the sky. Hands to the floor. Take both legs straight. Feet parallel. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. Wide leg fold. Hands to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway. Heel ball feet in, let's say a little bit wider than your hips. Walk your hands over towards your left leg, turning your feet so you're coming back into pyramid. Now walk your hands over your left foot and keep going around until you're crossing at your thighs. Coming down to a seat as we go into Gomukhana, cow face. Taking your left arm under for eagle arms. Inhale. Exhale, fold forward. With your next inhale, rise. Exhale, release the arms. Take the hands behind you to lift your hips, hands in front of you, and take legs straight. Walk your hands over towards that left foot, coming back into pyramid. Stepping your right foot forward, coming into Malasana, deep squat. Keeping your feet parallel as you lift chest. Interlace fingers, taking your hands up towards the ceiling, and come all the way up. As you exhale, sit back down, keeping your hips as much as you can onto the floor. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale, exhale. 5 more. And once you finish your 5, stay in Malasana, chest up. Hands to the floor, forward fold, moving hips side to side. Step one leg back, the other leg come into your down dog. Plank. And Chaturanga all the way to your belly. Crocodile, stacking hands on top of each other as you bring your head to the back of your hands. Bend your knees and take your feet away from each other. Release your left leg to the floor. Grab onto your right foot. And see if you can bring the foot to the outside of your hip. You are more than welcome to stay here, or perhaps you start to bend your left knee. Going for a little interesting bind. So my left hand grabs onto my right foot. And then my right hand is grabbing onto my left shin. Begin to kick the shin into the hand, and it'll lift the thigh off the floor. Drawing shoulder blades away from the back, deepen your breath. Gently release. Coming back to crocodile. Bending your left knee and see if you can bring the foot to the outside of your hip. Stay here, or perhaps with your right hand, you grab onto your left foot. You bend your right foot, and left hand grabs on, so it's a twist. Now begin to kick your foot into the hand to lift the thigh. One more inhale. And exhale, release. Gently come back to crocodile. Place your head onto your right forearm as you take your left arm out to the side. Bend your right knee. So we're not going to move the left arm. As you rotate, bring your right foot as close as you can to your left hand. But keep the right elbow on the floor. Slowly making your way back onto your belly. Bend your left elbow, forearm onto your forehead onto the back of your arm. Take your right arm out to the side. Bend left knee. Don't move your right arm. as you take your foot over towards the hand. Slowly come back onto your belly. Back to crocodile. Moving your hips side to side. In fact, bend your knees and just take your shins side to side. Very slowly and mindfully. Feet back onto the floor and roll over onto your back. Keeping your knees bent. Let your knees go side to side. Come back to stillness. Take your arms along your body. You're going to press your feet into the mat. Lift your hips as you go into bridge. Bringing your chin towards your chest and lift your hips really high. So the higher you lift your hips, the more you're going to get into your hip flexors. Inhale. Exhale, releasing upper back, mid back, low back. And press back into bridge. Lifting your hips even higher. Slowly coming down, upper back, mid back, low back. One more. And if you have will in your practice, you can go for will. If you're going for will, you align your thumbs next to your ears. You can let your pinkies get a little bit wider as you squeeze elbows in. Press your feet down into the mat. And with your next exhale, press up into bridge or wheel. And then slowly coming down. Upper back, mid back, low back. Take your legs straight up in the air for waterfall. And it might feel good too. Turn your feet in and out like a little washing machine. Releasing into Shavasana. Coming to stillness. Still focusing on your deep breath. Stay in Shavasana for as long as you like. Getting the benefits of your practice all through your body. Just letting everything go. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me today. It was a total honor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. Namaste.